Hello there, Fancy here. Welcome in this tutorial where I can teach you how to get copyright strike from Nintendo. And simply by creating Mario in Unreal Engine. It should take about an hour. Assets provided. Let's start with creating new project. So launch your version of Unreal Engine. And we want to create a game. So let's create a game, and as always we will use side-scroller template. Because we don't want to do more work than is necessary. We will use it in blueprints, maximum quality, and no starter content. Let's have it for desktops and consoles, and let's call it Nintendo Please _ don't wink. Or you can just call it Mario, it's up to you. Create project. Okay, dismiss any plugins and update files. Now we need to get us some assets, and lucky for you I have researched all over the internet and find just perfect ones for us, so link in the description. I have them just here, so let's just import this whole folder into our game. And just a quick disclaimer, these assets import all, of course. Just quick disclaimer, these assets are not mine, they are from artists that made them and Nintendo, of course, but you have credit that if you wanna do anything with that, I don't know. Okay, I have imported into side-scroller BP, so let's open it and look at our assets. Some of them are already textured, the rest we will solve as we will work. Okay, just a quick thing we need to do is to get our Goomba, I don't know how you read it honestly, and delete it because we have done something a little bit wrong. Let's take that Goomba and import it back. And you don't need to have it as skeletal mesh, let's auto-generate it collisions, and we need to set it, where is it? Under mesh, it should be combine mesh, because that mesh is combined from 3 different separate mesh, and we need to have them together because it will make it easier for us later in development. So this needs to be imported separately, and as you can look at it now, it's one correct put together mesh. Okay, we don't have time for that. Let's get back to our Mario game. So you probably already know, if you have seen any of my tutorials, you already know what we can do with this side-scroller project. Just walk around, jump, etc., which is exactly what we need for our Mario. So we have our basic functionality, which means walking and jumping. And what we will do is to edit our side-scroller character and play with camera a little bit. Firstly, let's set the spring arm 1 to a little bit more. For example, 700 should be fine. So we can actually see what we are doing. That looks fine. And there is one interesting thing. If you really want to have a 2D Mario, which I am actually thinking I will do, you need to click on your side view camera and set it into orthographic. Compile it and look at what it does. Now it looks really zoomed in, and if you wanna zoom it out, which you definitely want, you need to set this orthographic width probably. Set it to 1500, for example, and now you have wonderful 2D game without almost any shadows and light. So if you are looking really only for 2D game, this is just what you want. But for that you need to scale this down. Okay, disable this snapping. I believe it's this one. Yep, it seems like it. And have it on about the same size as these. A little bit more we can have. And if we click on play, now you can see that it looks just wonderful. But I honestly don't want to have it that much 2D. Let's not go that retro today. So open our side-scroll character again and where were we? Side view camera, and set it back to perspective. You can set it just whatever you want. I will go with a little bit of 3D right now. Okay, now let's set up some shooting mechanics because that's what we want. Okay. Here in our content browser, let's go to side-scroller BP and create, we already have a folder called blueprints. So let's create here a new one, blueprint class, and call it actor. Not call it this actor, you know, actor. Okay, and call it shot. Okay, click back. create quickly new material, a new folder, and call it materials. Open it, and let's create here a new material, which will be called emission underscore, you know what, let's take it shortly, em underscore shot. Open it, and you know how I love emission, so we will simply create one emission and it will look like it's a whole set of textures. So let's create here constant. I hope that you will never figure out that this is actually the only thing I can do with material editor. Okay, multiply, set it to 100 and connect it to emissive color. Now let's set here, okay, let's set here constant we are looking for. And I want to have it a bit like gold-like. Think I should have said from the start. Maybe it will be better if you go to YouTube and check out how real Mario looked like. Just for the research. It's always, even if you think you know how it looks like, it's always better to look at it from game developer perspective and not from a gamer perspective. Okay, click on OK and apply it. Because reference is always needed, trust me. You always need reference, doesn't matter how good you are. Okay, now let's get back to our side scroll PP. Side scroll PP, there you go. Blueprint, shot, and add component. And we will add here sphere. Okay. And let's see how it looks like in DC. Now that's a bit too big. So first thing you need to do is to get it on same x-axis as our character. So let's click on it, copy it, and paste it here. Okay, save. Of course, save all. That should have been done from the start. Now it will save all your assets that you have imported. Very useful in case of crash. Okay, and seems like we will have to make it a little bit smaller. So let's click on this lock and set it to 0.4. Compile and show me how it looks like. Seems pretty cool. Maybe even a little bit smaller. 0.3. And now we need to set this dead material, which we have created, and it was m underscore shot. Okay, put it there. And show me how it looks like in... Oh, come on, mate. I know that you are there. Okay, play, and you can see it's there. Wonderful. Okay, and as I'm looking at it, we can actually make it shine a little bit more. So we will increase that multiply node which we have added here. Let's set it to 200. You know, let's not be a minimalist. Ooh, sweet. Okay, now we need to set up that bouncing, pointy stuff that that shot in Mario does. So let's go to event graph, and we need to set here gravity. So let's simulate physics on the right here, and enable gravity. Compile it and see what it does. In play, you can click on simulate, and we need to have it there actually to make it work. So let's put here, click, and now click on play just. That seems just fine. The only problem that I see is that it's not actually bouncing back, which is what we are going to set right now. Okay, in side scroll BP, let's go to materials and create here physics. Right click, create physics, physics material, and click on this physics material, select it, and we will call it bouncing underscore mat. Open it, and what we will do here is to override friction combine mode. No, we will actually set and what we will set here is to override restriction combine mode. Select it and set it to max. And also this restitution, let's set it to 1 to maximum just to test it out. Okay, save it. Look at it, edit shot, and click on your sphere. And you can set here in collision, I'll put it up so my camera doesn't cover it. In collision we can set it to bouncing material. Okay, compile it and see what it does. Okay, simulate. And it seems like it's bouncing just as we need. Great, guys. This was pretty hard to figure out for me, to be honest. Okay, now we need to add the movement together. Not together, to some way, which in this case means forward. And for that we will go to our shot, edit graph, and add impulse to our sphere. Okay, and we want it in the begin play, which means once it will be created, it will add that impulse and move. And set it to 1000 in the y-axis. Simulate. And it's bouncing just the other way around. Now it's bouncing just somewhere. Okay, let's try it in -1000, compile, and play. And that seems pretty cool. Open it and we can increase the speed which it will bounce in. So let's delete 10 and put 5 on its place. Compile and see. That seems much better. But I would actually go for 2000. You can find your own value, of course. Cool. That's what we are looking for. So now we need to set here one more thing. Let's put here sequence before that begin play, and after it will begin, it will start being live. We will put here delay for let's say 4 seconds, and then it will destroy itself because we don't want to have it in our level forever. Destroy actor. And see if it works. Jumping around, everything is cool, and you should die. That's what we need. If you think 4 seconds is too little, change it. I don't care. I literally don't care. So let's go to our side scroll character, and oh, we didn't stop the game. Okay, let's delete it from our game and go to our side scroll character, and now we will set up so it is actually created once we press button. Okay, let's go to event graph and we will create keyboard T, because I like everything have on T. So if you press T, it will execute this part of code. So after press T, we want to spawn actor from class, and that selected actor will be our shot. Okay, compile it, and oh, and it doesn't work. You need to disable it again. And don't compile. Go to our viewport and add here an arrow. And now you need to put that arrow on the place where you want your shot to be created. I want to have it roughly from the chest. So let's put it here and rename that arrow to shot G, like generator or creator. Let's just have it there, okay? Okay, don't judge me, mate. You have your own problems. And from our shot G, let's get world transform. We will actually get on the location and click on spawn transform, split structure pin, and connect it right there. Pressed. And see what it does. And now we need to set it to classical games. So let's try to press T, and it seems like it works pretty fine. Okay, physics can go crazy, so I would recommend you to not touch it. And you can see that once you are turned on each way, it will create them and you can shoot and spawn them. Hopefully don't run into them. If we can get rid of this running, we can actually disable collisions for our player. So let's see how to do it. Side scroll BP, blueprints, shot. Okay, viewport, open sphere, and we need to set here collisions. Oh, there it was. Collisions, and can character step on it? Let's say to no. And physics actor, okay, that's fine, hopefully. And well, it's still shooting pretty much crazy, but at least it doesn't do anything with our character. And one more thing I want not to change, it's its speed, which it will run from start. Let's set it to 5000. It seemed pretty slow for me. Okay. Okay, this seems much better. Okay, dokie, our character is pretty much ready. I know it doesn't look like Mario, but let's call him that. Mannequin/Mario. Nintendo, please don't judge me. Please, please, please. I don't want to get too hurt. Okay, and let's create our enemy. Now we are getting to some real copyright issues, so let's not think about it and pretend that I'm not gonna monetize this. Okay, Goomba. We are going to put this guy into our game. So let's go to side scroller BP, blueprints, create new one, and it's going to be character. Let's call him enemy and open it. Okay, compile. I don't know why you should compile there, but it's a reflex, you know. Then we will put here our mesh, and we cannot use actually skeletal mesh, so we will use normal mesh, static mesh, because there is no need to play with animations, to be completely honest. Okay, static mesh, and static mesh will be set to our Goomba. Okay. And again, let's put it into our game to see how it looks like. Well, first thing first, let's rotate it. Okay, and let's make him a little bit bigger. And now we need to adjust this capsule. Firstly, it's high. You cannot move with capsule component, so if you want to move it, you will have to move with your mesh. Okay, that seems fine. So let's go to our event graph, and now we need to make him a move. So for that, we will go into our event begin play and create here add movement input. Wonderful. And just to test it out, let's set it into y in -1. Okay, compile and set him on same, again, same location and x-axis as our character. Let's see what it does. Click on play. And he is not moving for some very weird reason. Why is that? Edit enemy. Of course, because we cannot use event begin play, we will have to use event tick. Sorry, my bad. Let's pretend like it never happened. And simulate it. Now it should work. And look at how crazy that guy is. And you have seen the first problem. He starts moving and then he gets to wall and just lie there because he doesn't want to do anything else, that lazy Goomba. So let's edit him. And how to change it is we need to set this war direction based on where he is on the map. And we will go a little bit around it and create here event hit, which means every time he hits something. And in that case, when he hits something, we will set this direction. So we will promote it to variable and let's call it where to go. Where to go. Oh, not a goi, but goi is pretty cool. Wow, I like how it looks like, phonetically I mean. Not phonetically, but you know what I mean. Okay. And from that event hit, we will set here flip-flop. And now it was set to -1, I believe. Yes, -1, which means he would go right. And that's in E. So now you need to copy it. Okay, mate. Come on, let's copy it. And set it to +1. So one will be -1, and other one will be +1. So every time he will hit something, he will switch it either from -1 to +1, which means he will go left or right, depends on what it will hit. Let's try to simulate it, and look at it. It works beautifully. And let's try to make it look a little bit more interesting and see how he will manage to work with different directions. He can walk, and he is acting just as in Mario. The problem is that he's sort of falling, so let's ignore that. I probably set him on a little bit wrong coordinations. Let's never talk about it again. There is a lot of videos we shouldn't talk about in this video. A lot of stuff. Whatever. Not important. Let's delete our enemy. And I have him here twice. Oh, must have copied by accident, so let's delete one. And have here on our enemy. And now we can adjust his speed, because as you have seen, he's moving a little bit too fast, at least for my liking. He's going like crazy at it, look at that, you can't run from him. And because we are making it from casual players, you know, those people who plays on phones and stuff. Ah, jeez. Let's adjust it and make it a little bit smaller. You need to adjust this scale value. Let's go with 0.6. You are moving basically from 0 to 1. 1 is fastest, 0 is slowest. Or you can probably go even further than 1. You can see that it's moving much smaller, much lower right now. Okay, seems fine by me. So, seems fine. So let's set up something that we can actually kill this guy. For that, we will have to create new collision. So add here collision, box collision, and as you remember from Mario, because we have researched it, right? I just told you how to do it. We have to jump on his head and kill him like that. So let's put it up, scale it down, and we need to put it above our capsule component. Compile it and go to on event begin overlap, and we will cast to our side scroller character, set it as other actor, and now we will execute something that will kill him. So let's make it just to test it. Let's go to destroy actor. We will set it as slowly as possible because we need to test stuff first. Hopefully this will teach you how to make your own games, how to work when you are making your own games. Just slowly adjust functionalities. Okay, select viewport. And I will try to jump on his head, and he died. That seemed fine. Okay, one more time, let's test it. Seems cool. The problem is that our camera is going too much with our character. So I need to adjust it into, let's go with 1000. So I can look at it from a little bit further away. Okay, maybe even a little bit more. And what's even more important, we will set our camera much lower. Okay. Okay, it seems like it worked. It killed him. Let's scale this down so it doesn't look that bad on our camera. And delete these two in the background. So we have wonderful sky. We need to make it look like he's actually dying like in Mario. And to set it just as in Mario, we need to do something before this destroy actor. So let's set here worlds, set a world scale. And we want it to do in our capsule component. And there is two of them. Why? Oh, we will see very soon. Okay, X set to 1, Y to 1, because that's a default state, and Z to 0.5. Okay, 0.5. You can do all this with animations, of course, if you wish. So then you need to put that delay, because you need to see actually what happened. And set it for about 1 second, and then you can destroy your actor. Okay, let's try to jump on its head. And you can see that it works fine, just fine. He really looks like you stepped on his head, which is just what we are looking for. The problem is that he's still moving. That's what we need to do something about. So, get our enemy. And after you are jumping on him, we need to stop movement immediately. Our character movement. And that would only stop it. So we now need to disable that movement. Oh, come on, mate. Disable movement. And let's see if it works. Okay. And jump on it. And he stops. He's a little bit up, but we will manage that because we will move our component. So let's, and after set world scale, move component. Move component 2, that component will be our component, our capsule component, because that's which we change a scale of, and we want to do it almost instantly, which means 0.1. And set its rotation to get relative location, and set it to minus vector, and I believe minus, let's try 20. Okay, play. And it moved him in different direction than we want, so we need to set it to plus 20. Okay, compile, and hopefully he won't end up in the floor. Well, he almost did, but let's not think about it. Now we need to make sure that our player doesn't overlap these elements again and again, after this character will be dead. So we need to simply destroy it. So we will destroy a component, and that component will be a simple box. Let's see if it works. Play. Ta-da! Just what we need. Okay, and now we have some dirty, pretty terrible code right here, and I just don't necessarily want to look at it. So what I will do is to select all this, right click, and collapse it to macro. And call that macro rename enemy, okay, don't use caps lock, enemy underscore dead. Okay, everything works just as it should. If you can see, we can test it one more time. Ta-da! That was interesting, but we need to set it so our enemy can also kill our player. Let's go with our Goomba. So let's go to viewport and create here new collision. Add component, box collision, and it's basically on the place we want, and let's adjust its scale, because we want to have it bigger than is our capsule. Okay, compile, and back to viewport. Let's rename it box. This is a head underscore call, like a head collision, and this is rename side underscore collision. And click on event begin overlap. Take it from it, and again we'll cast to our side scroller character. Okay, set it to other actor. And now we will use function, which means we need to go to our side. We need to go to our side scroller character and create here a new function right here. Okay, let's call it that underscore player, and what we will do here is to jump. That's the first thing we will do. We want him to jump. Remember how it is in Mario. He jumps when he dies, and then he falls down behind the below the terrain. So we want him to jump, and then we need to set him so he ignores every collision. So for that we will take our mesh and set it to set collisions enabled, and that enabled, which means no collisions in this case, and see what it does. Let's just test this. Okay, edit enemy, and from that side scroll character let's call our dead player. Compile. We need to also set it for our capsule. So let's get our capsule and just connect it here. Hopefully it will work now. And it seems like it works. Look at him, he's falling down, dying, and all this funny stuff. We can also set something up here. So for example, let's create just a quickly new HUD. In our content, we will use only one HUD, so let's create a widget HUD, call it dead, open it, add here text, and the text will be set to lol underscore you Nope. Enter. Set its font to we don't have different font, so let's set size to something like this. Oh, come on, mate. Where are you? Where is my text? There you go. In hierarchy, you need to move it and set its anchors to center. Okay, compile it and go to our det. Go to our side scroll character, and we want to create widget. That widget will be that, and we want to add it to viewport. Connect target to return value and see if it works. Come on, kill me, mate. I'm waiting for this. Lol, you noob, and you are dying. Congratulations. Next thing we will do is to set that we can kill him with our shot that we have just so wonderfully created. And that will be by clicking on this. Side scroll BP, blueprints, shot. And in this sphere we need to add a collision. So add here collision. Oh, not a box collision, even though that would probably work too. Let's add here sphere collision and scale it, put it behind that sphere, which means it follows it, which is what we need, and set it around the same size as our... Oh, but where did it go? Now I have wonderfully lost it. Here you go. Just a little bit bigger than our mesh. So let's compile it and create with our mesh, which with our collision, which should be called, I don't know, just collision. There will be no more collisions, so let's just not name it in any way. On component begin overlap, we will cast to enemy, because that's the only we need to kill, and take from here our... Oh, we can't actually. Don't use any variable. From cast to enemy, let's simply get here destroy actor. Let's do it simply as that. Right now I'm actually not remembering how it looks like in Mario. You can see that it works just fine. He died. And one more thing, we also need to destroy our actor, which we are already doing here. So let's just connect it. See the power of blueprints. Yes. Okay, compile it and see if it works. You can kill him, everything disappears just fine. Now let's set up coins and economy. Because that's essential part of Mario, of course. Go to side scroll BP, blueprints again, and create here blueprint class and actor. And that will be coin. Okay, and for that we need to actually set up our coin. Let's go to assets, coin, and open our default material. Put it right here. And you have here already prepared textures, so let's just match them to these on material editor. Oh, my Unreal Engine just crashed, by the way, so I have to do some part again, just so you have some sympathy for me. Okay, let's go to side scroll BP, blueprints, coin, and open full blueprint. Viewport and add component mesh. The static mesh, compile, and set it to our... Where was our coin? Compile, and let's set our scale to 25. Make sure that your lock is enabled and rotate it so it actually looks like it is, you can actually look at it from side. Make sure that it looks good in your game. Seems like it does. Now when we have our coin here, we need to set it some collision. So let's go to sphere collision, compile it, and now we need to set some amount of collision, some number which will be outside of this blueprint, and we will do it in our side scroller character. Go to our event graph and create, oh, it doesn't matter actually, just go to our variables and create here coin underscore amount, and we need to set it to integer. compile it, and get our coin. And after, it will collide with our third-person side-scroller character, which means Mario, on component begin overlap. We need to cast to it. Cast to side-scroller character, other actor, and we will get our coin amount. And one more thing, we need to set our coin amount. So set coin amount and set it to +1. So what it actually does, it asks our side-scroller character what is coin amount, and then it adds 1 to it. Okay, and then it will destroy itself. Destroy actor. Okay, compile, and you can see, but you can take it, but now it doesn't actually do anything because we can't see our coin amount, and for that we will quickly create another HUD. So user interface, widget blueprint, call it score, open it, and create here 2 text files. First one will be here. Let's set it to score, and anchor set to right, and create new one. And then you need to bind. Click onto content, bind, create binding. And to get the text, you need to go to your event graph, and on event kick, cast to our third. Okay, you need to write properly. Cast to side scroller character. Oh, come on. One more time. Cast to side scroller character. Get player character from our object. Compile it, and we need to get our coin amount and put it into a new variable, which will be called again just coins underscore, and you need to set it to variable. Oh, integer. I'm sorry, to integer. And put it here and set it. Okay, connect it, compile, and in our get text, that's that binding we have created. Let's put here just our coins and set it to minimum integer numbers to 3, which means from the start it will show 0, 0, 0. Then if you will take 1 coin, it will show 0, 0, 1, etc, etc. And in our side scroller character, in our event begin play, which is not here apparently, we need to add it to our game. So event begin play. Let's create widget. That widget will be set to score, and we need to add it to viewport. And let's see if it works. Compile, and let's test it. Click on play, and you can see on the we have made a mistake again, which means I made a mistake. We need to set our text block and anchor it to the right as well. Compile. And now you can see that if you take 1, it will set it to 1. Wonderful. But what was that weird thing that I just see? Oh, seems like nothing important. We can scale it up a little bit. So let's set size to about 35, and as well here 35. Compile, and it works. You can copy as many of them as you wish, and you can see that it's slowly adding your amount, and then you can kill yourself. Lol, you noob. Ta-da! But let's be real, in Mario, coins are not just casually around. Let's put them in blocks. So we will need to create that function when you jump and with your head you break a wall. I don't know what is Mario jumping on, his head must hurt like hell. Anyway, not important. That wall will break eventually and create our coin. So for that, let's go to our side scroll pp blueprints and create new blueprint. That blueprint class, set it to actor, and let's call it wall, I suppose. And add component, and that component will be mesh. Static mesh, and that static mesh will be our brick block. Wonderful, but it's a bit too big, I'm afraid. Let's test it in our game. It's not as big as I thought. Okay, let's set it to 0.6. Okay, and set it to same location as our character again. So he can hit his head against it and break him, so he would be so stupid as a Mario. Not important. Okay, compile, and we need to add here collision. So collision. By now you probably understand that most game development is just making a lot of collisions. Put it a little bit beneath it. And compile, and again cast to our begin overlap. Create begin overlap, and then cast to our side scroller character. Connect it to other actor. And then we need to do something. We need to move it up and back down. So let's add here move component. Move component 2. That component will be our default scene root. We want to move everything. Compile. And let's take from it our relative transform. Okay, there you go. Split structure pin. And rotation should be same as it is. So we will only change our location and set it to vector plus vector. And let's move it up a little bit. So that means z-axis about 20. Let's try it and see if it works. Compile. So I will hit it and it moved up. Wonderful. That's what we need. For now, let's delete our enemy and get back to our wall. Okay, we need to move it to make it look a little bit better. Let's move it more and in shorter time. In 0.1 should be fine. Then it will wait for a bit. Let's say 0.5, and then it will move right back. So let's put it here. And set it to -30. So it should be back at its original location. Okay, complete it and see if it works. Seems fine. That's basically how it is in Mario, right? Okay, but now we need to create that coin on its place. So let's click on our wall again, edit it, viewport, and we need to add here our arrow. That arrow should be above it. And before this delay will happen, after it will move it, we will create, it's actually spawn actor from class. That class will be our coin. And spawn transform should be set to our arrow. So get world, we need to take our world transform and connect it and see if it works. Compile. Seems fine, seems pretty cool to me. We can just shorten our delay a little bit right here. So let's set the delay to 0.3 and move our arrow up. Okay, compile, and let's delete all these arrows and delete these meshes. They are actually not helping, not at all. So let's look at it. I will jump on it. It will create our coin, and I need to move it a little bit down. So jump at it. It will create our coin, and I can take that coin. Wonderful. Let's create more of them. So it looks like in a real Mario game, which this actually is, almost. And the problem is that it can create several of them right now, which is not necessarily what I want. Okay, let me see, we have few bugs here. So let's fix them. Okay, can we move? Yes. We will actually scale our character a little bit down. Because in original Mario, the first character that you have before you take any mushroom is actually really small. So to change its size, we will actually move our capsule component, which means scale it. Now, right now it's in something, it should be in 111, and we will scale it along z-axis. Okay, compile and see if it works. Seems like it works, so let's try to create these. Works fine. But now we need to set it so it actually cannot hit it from the side of the wall. That's actually really simple. You need just to scale this inside our mesh. So if it will try to hit that collision from side, it will just hit the mesh. And from the bottom it's same, but as you cannot see it, but once I hit it several times, it will probably create a lot of coins. So if I will take them, our score will jump for free. So we need to fix that, and that can be done by a few things. If you want it to be like this, so it will actually create a lot of them, leave it like that, or you can create several walls. But now I want it to be able to create it only once. So that will be by after it will create that coin, we will actually delete that collision. So destroy component, and component should be box. So now let's test it. Our component is destroyed, and you can see it's not even moving again, which is just what we are looking for. Okay, you have your coins, wonderful. So next thing we are going to do is to set our mushrooms, because right from the start you are a little bit small, like really small, not a little bit, and you can right away shoot these stuffs, which is not what we want. So let's change it. Go to our content, side scroll BP assets, and we need to prepare our first our question mark box is already prepared, so let's prepare our mushroom. And for that you need to take all these materials one by one and adjust it. I will speed it up so because I'm pretty sure that you can do it by yourself. Okay, now I have it done. Hopefully you do. So let's look at our mushroom. Okay, some shaders are still compiling, so let's leave them there and let's get to program our functionality. Luckily, we already have it almost done. Look at it, because we have everything set in our blueprint enemy. So we will just copy it, duplicate it, and call it mushroom, because mushrooms. Okay, open it, and we can actually delete most of this stuff. Let's delete this and this. We don't need these collisions, and we don't need any of this. And the only thing we need to leave is this. Delete this macro because we don't need to kill this thing. And set our mesh to our mushroom. Okay, not this mesh, static mesh. Set it to your mushroom. Okay, you can see it's a little bit too big. So let's scale him down. Okay, and adjust its capsule. So let's scale half down, and we can, okay, a little bit up, and scale our radius much more up, because it's much wider than our previous mesh. Okay, compile, and let's try to put it in the game. And it's rotated badly for some really strange reason. Okay, let's rotate it. Or now? No, still no, 90 degrees. Okay, that's fine. Compile it, and let's put him here actually. You can see he's walking around, and he will probably try to touch me. Ah, help! Okay, this is fine. Now I have got him, almost. So now we need to set it so once he touches him, it will actually do something right here in our side scroll character. So let's open our mushroom, and with our capsule component, let's on component begin overlap and cast to third person. Nope. Cast to side scroller character. Connect it to object, other actor, compile, and as side scroller character we need to set it inside it. So first thing we will do, we'll actually create it as function again. Create function and let's call it power underscroll up. You know what, it looks better without underscroll, power up. So what it will do is to set our relative scale, because now it is set to 0.666 blah blah blah, and we need to set its scale, set relative scale 3D to 1, 1, 1, because he will grow once he will encounter it. And then we will create here one more variable, which will be can shoot. In Mario, it's actually set into 3 stages, so you need to eat 2 mushrooms to be able to shoot it. Right now I will to connect it to only 1, because this tutorial is already long. Okay, so can shoot and set it to true. Compile. And let's see, oh, we need to actually set it up, so let's go to our edit mushroom, and from that let's call here power up, compile, and see if it works. Okay. And it doesn't for some very strange reason, which I'm afraid I already know, because I'm again using relative location scale, and we need to use set world scale 3D. Connect. Oh, come on, connect it and set it to scale 1, 1, 1. Compile. Okay, I have okay, we have there a bit of a mistake, so let's go to our edit mushroom, because we have changed it for our enemy that can kill us. Set it to can character step on it should be set to no, you need to set it to yes, and collision preset set to overlap only pawn. So now if you look at it, it should work. Okay, play and see what happens when it touches. We grew, what a wonderful thing. Okay, so now we need to make sure that it kills itself when it touches us, so we can't use it that many times. It will destroy itself, destroy actor, compile, oh come on, resume, and if it touches me, I will grow. And I can shoot, which is something we need to still set up, side scroller character. And in event graph we have T. Just when you press it, we will simply add here branch. If it's true, you can shoot. If it's not, you cannot. So we'll set here can shoot, put it here, compile. Now it should work. I'm pressing T, nothing happens, but if I touch this, I can shoot. Brilliant. Last thing we will do is to set it that our mushroom will be created from this special box. So we will go back to blueprints and copy our wall, duplicate it and set it to surprise. Okay, click on our static mesh and set it to surprise box, or how is it called? Question mark box, exactly. Compile it, event graph, and the only thing we will change in our spawn actor coin, we will set it to our mushroom. But I'm afraid that won't be enough, but let's test it out. You know what, you never know. We will just steal its location. Let's go, put it right here, delete this one, a little bit more down. Okay, play, see if it works. It works. The problem is that he's not moving. So for that, we need to go to our, no, we need to go back to our surprise button. After spawn actor mushrooms, we need to spawn blueprint we need to spawn controller, default controller, and connect it to return value, compile, and see if it works. Let's jump over it and press it, and you can see it's moving. Congratulations, guys. You can eat as many of them as you want. Okay, let's take all these coins, because after that we have basically everything we need for our Mario game done. So I will now just quickly set up some level and then show you how you can go from one level to another. Okay, that's but done. So let's go to side scroll VP, maps, and you have side scroll example map, which is where we are right now. So save all, make sure you are always saving, and now right click on it and duplicate it and call it map underscroll 2. Okay, and last thing, create new blueprint, new folder. No, I'm sorry, not a folder. Create new blueprint, new actor. And call it, I don't know, finish. Is it spelled like that? Not sure. Okay, let's add here a cube. Scale it down. Just now I'm making just some weird representation. You can put here whatever you want. And around this mesh, we need to add collision, box collision. Put it under a default scene root. You don't need to attach it to that mesh, and scale it so it's bigger than that mesh. Compile, and on component begin overlap, cast to side scroll character, object, oh come on, object set to other actor, and after that we need to open level. So open level, and that level name should be what you have written here. So make sure that it's exactly what you want. To be sure, let's rename it, Control C, put it here, compile, okay, put it in your game. Oh, not that. Blueprints, finisher. Okay, I'll scale it a little bit up. And I forgot to put here enemy. Let's put him here. Okay, save it, save all just to be sure. And now open your level and adjust it a little bit. Where were we? VP, maps, open your second level. And now I want to change a lot of things here, so it's different than the level before. I don't know, something like that. That's enough. Remember, there is a reflection capture need to rebuild, so if you want to build it, simply click here on build whatever you need, or you can build everything. Save all again, and get back to your side scroll example map. Click on play. You can play your game. You can grow. You can make sure that you don't get eaten. Oh, come on, mate, jump over it. And then if you touch this, it should teleport you to a new level, which is just where we are right now. Congratulations, guys. Well, we have our Mario done. Quick escape and no errors. Better than last time. Okay, so that's about it. Your Mario is done. You can make Mario and build a better company than Nintendo. I'm sorry, Nintendo, I didn't say that. Please don't copyright me. If you liked it, like and subscribe would really help. And what's even more important, there is a description, and in that is Discord. And if you have created your own Mario or just better Mario, join the Discord and tell me about that. Show me some screenshot. I would love to see it.